They're already ready to sponsor me. They're like, we're about to call you tomorrow with like 10,000 cans. I'm like, fuck. Fuck you anyway.
Welcome back to Got No Control podcast. I am your host, RONEK. And before I introduce my special guest today, I want to invite you guys to head over to gotnocontrol.com and check out our official merchandise. This helps us to keep doing what we do. Also, if you want to help us out a little bit more, make sure to become a member on our YouTube channel. Just click join, become a member for as low as $3.99. Take advantage of all the special features. And with that being said, today I got a special guest in the house today. Toomer, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm blessed.
I just want
Thanks for
to
having me.
I just want to say thank you for stopping by and chopping it up with me for a little bit and diving into your rich history in this culture that we all love, which is graffiti. And I want to start this conversation by keep going on our conversation we had behind camera regarding spray paint companies. I know you were very vocal about how you feel about a certain spray paint company coming back into the realm of the culture. We want to hop onto that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Rust-Oleum paint that they're trying to push on writers right now is whack, bro, because they hated us for so many years, you know? They were like, we don't want your fucking business, and and now they're trying to fucking kiss our ass to fucking promote their shit, you know? And a lot of writers are going to do it because they want free paint,
Yeah.
you know? But I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you want a stolen paint, go steal that shit. It's like everybody else did back in the days, you know what I mean?
And I feel like your point is extremely valid because you were there living
Oh, yeah.
living the situation. It's not like you just kind of just thought about it. You were there living it and being denied,
Oh, yeah.
being part of this company through their product, right?
Yeah. They wanted nothing to do with us because, Fox News had a huge campaign against us, and they were always talking shit about graffiti writers. We were the end all be all of existence for society. Now that we know better,
Yeah.
and that society is ran by child fuckers and child eater pedophiles, we're not the worst of any of it. We're the, you know what I mean? Like now it's like, yo, pick up a can and start fucking painting, homie, and feel good
Yeah.
about it. God got your back because we're like the least of the problems of society.
Yeah.
But that whole time I was doing it, we were treated like fucking terrorists. You know what I mean? I mean, I got charges of street terrorism charges for graffiti.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when Bush was in office, they gave me street terrorism charges and shit. Like I'm some fucking terrorist because a lot of people know me and want to join. Watching the war videos
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So we were like the worst thing that ever happened in society. Según them.
Yeah.
But now that we know the truth with the Epstein files.
It was never us. It was you guys.
Oh, yeah, it was you motherfuckers. You guys are fucking kids and eating kids. And
Yeah.
the most fucking satanic shit. Like we're over here painting out fucking walls that already had destroyed in neighborhoods that are not even being, where our tax dollars going to war, killing other people overseas. We're just trying to do the best we can with what we had, and make our neighborhoods look dope,
Yeah.
through one thing that was universal and inclusive for everybody, and that was hip hop. Instead of the society norm where it's just like white supremacy only, and you guys are second class citizens and shit like that. We enjoyed hip hop, and graffiti is part of that. It's actually the most raw essence of hip hop was graffiti and is graffiti. Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you look back at now, like my growing up, I almost felt ashamed to be a graffiti writer. Like people, your parents,
Yeah.
their friends, everybody was like, oh, I mean, I remember one time my mom was like, you should just at least join a gang. They have a purpose. Like they're protecting the neighborhood. Like, what the hell are you talking about, Mom? That maybe in the 70s,
Yeah.
but it's way different right now in the 90s, And so, yeah, growing up as a graffiti writer, you felt ashamed.
Is it fair to say that you were probably one of the first in the West Coast to get sponsored by Belton?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know because Man One had a bunch of Belton. He's the first person that I've seen with it, really.
Okay.
But I don't know if he was sponsored or I don't know. I don't know really. I really don't know. But they did fly me to fucking Germany. I did go out to Stuttgart, Lahr, Berlin, Munich, the Black Forest, and they showed me the whole Belton factory and everything. That
Oh, so
was
you
dope.
seen it all hands on?
Oh yeah, man. I seen how they do it, and I had a conversation with him because I was like, hey, we should look at the prices in the U.S. so you could compete with Montana or whatever. You know, the guy's name was Jurgen, the owner, and he goes, he had the mentality like we don't lower the prices on BMW. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
because it is a quality product. Like it is it's the best to me. To me, I'm sorry, people are gonna,
yeah.
whatever, but to me, Belton is the most quality paint.
I feel like they changed their formula though.
They did change the formula, and maybe that discussion I had with him hit his head because at the time he was throwing out Flame. He was showing me Flame, but Flame was different back then. Flame was very high speed, right?
Okay.
So I was trying to explain to him that what they were doing with that high speed thing is dope if you're bombing double can giant subway cars, right?
Yeah.
But there ain't no freaking bombing subway cars in America, It's very rare and few in between. And you don't need to do that fast on trains. You don't need to be like, get the fuck out of here before they release the hounds on you,
Yeah.
Like in Europe. So I don't think he understood that. Or, maybe I couldn't translate it English to German too good or whatever. But maybe they got it now because I see the Flame has a lower pressure now.
Yeah, I think they have a high pressure and a low
But
pressure.
the first one was like the first time I touched it, I was like, in my head, I'm thinking like, yo, I'm trying to like do at least 3 to 4 throwies with this can. This is like half a 101.
Kind of like the
You know what
Mad
I mean?
Max type thing.
It's just too fast.
Okay.
You waste too much paint on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for a bomber, at least for me, I'm thinking bombing wise, we want to do as much damage as possible. So if the can wastes real quick, then it's not really good.
Gotcha.
So I'd rather, even now, like when my homies are like, "Oh, look at these big old fucking cans," I was like, "Yeah, let me give the regular ones because it's just throwing too much pressure. It's good to do giant shit with it, but for throwies, I prefer just
Yeah.
And then when you get can control, you could see that you're not throwing too much paint into the sky, because I've seen me paint and then my homies paint. And I already freaking outlined the whole thing with one can, and these fuckers are on their third can or whatever. So can control, it's a big factor in that too. The more you paint, the better your muscle. It goes muscle memory, and just you don't throw away so much paint.
It's kind of like you're telling the can what to do rather than the can telling you what
And
to
you're
do.
just so used to it, you're not
Yeah.
even thinking. I kind of stopped painting for a while because I was taking care of family and shit.
Yeah.
And I went to Mexico for one trip. And these guys painted this whole wall, like a whole block wall. And poor dudes, they waited for me like all day for me to get there. And I was bombing the night before. So I got there like at 1. These dudes didn't touch the wall until I got there.
They were just waiting
They
for
were
you.
just waiting for me to
Yeah.
pull up. And so I pull up and I'm seeing him. And then as soon as I started outlining my piece, I look over and these fuckers are just like, bah, 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 going crazy all across the whole block. And I was like, damn, man, these fools are going to serve me. Like I haven't painted in a while. Like, probably 10 years, I took a little hiatus.
10 years prior to
10 years prior to that. I was like, damn, fuck it. You know what? I'm not here to have a good time. I got nothing to prove. I can't like rap, right?
Yeah.
And then I did my piece, and they were finished, and I'm still going, and my shit's more technical, and I still have more to go. Now I'm getting comfortable because my muscle memory kicked in.
Yeah.
Now I'm having a good time. Now I look over, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot who I was. I fucked these fools up so bad, dude. I was like, damn. And they took a break to go look at what I was doing, and we were like, yeah, we know. Because they were trying to use my style.
Ya bájale, ya bájale, ya bájale.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, they're like, fuck. And I'm like, but
Ya carnal, ya bájale.
like, how much further are you going? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just having fun,
I want to give a shout out to Mexico because they're doing some phenomenal work down there. man.
Doggy.
They're next level.
Insane, homie.
I've seen what they're doing.
Insane, dude. Fuck, bro. And not just in graffiti, but in tattooing.
Ooh.
Like I went to a tattoo convention with Sick Jackin over there from Psycho Realm.
Yeah.
And when you go to conventions around the world or whatever, there's like high profile booths, and then there's some fools that are cool, but then you have a lot of just crappy shit, right?
Yeah.
No, homie, almost every booth across the entire warehouse was sick ass fools. And they're charging a little bit. So you could see that the other guys, and now there's another famous tattoo artist over there. I'm not gonna name his name because I don't want to embarrass him. But that fool was like, man, he was like, fool, how can I even charge for my shit when these fools are doing exactly what I'm doing or better, way cheaper? Like we gotta get a union or something. Like, stop charging so cheap. But
Yeah.
it's just the way it is over there. And the same with Spain. Like those dudes are fucking ill artists.
Oh yeah, they're doing some phenomenal stuff out there.
Artists. I can't wait till like China to come out with graffiti, because you see the quality of art that they do on just on wood, carving and
Yeah,
stuff. Can you imagine how technical this
I
motherfucker?
read some articles that have no tolerance for graffiti over there
Oh,
right now.
yeah, I bet.
Like the fucking chop your pinky off type thing.
Well, I'm ready to lose my pinkies. 'Cause I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go, and they can have my pinky as long as they don't fuck with my index spray finger. You know what I mean?
I wanted to dive into, brother. What is home to Toomer? Where did you grow up
Oh,
at?
Los Angeles,
And what part of LA are you coming out of?
Huntington Park,
Huntington
Woodside
Park?
Park. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bicycles everywhere. But
Micas.
yeah. Well, I originally Pico Union,
Okay.
and then I moved out of Pico Union when I was like 8,
Okay.
10. I don't remember. And then we went to Huntington Park. My mom, bought a house. She's like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." But when I grew up in Pico Union, I didn't know the difference of what is a cholo and what is just a regular person. When I went to Huntington Park, I was told that's a cholo, that's this, that's a crib, that's a blood, because there was no Crips and Bloods in Pico Union.
Gotcha.
And I went there because Compton's close right there, South Central's right there, East LA is right there, and it's like in the middle of all this crazy shit, right? There's Linwood, there's Maywood, there's East LA, there's Watts, there's Florence District, South Central, just Compton, it's all right there in the center. And I didn't know what a cholo was in Pico Union because my uncles are cholos and my cousin, the neighbor. You know what I mean? When you grow up right in the middle of it, you don't know what it is when you're a little kid. When I got there, I was promptly told what color I could wear and what color I can't.
Yeah.
And what gangs are. And, it became a run after that. Like,
they have this.
Join this, or you better join that. I was a big boy, so people wanted me in gangs, and I just wanted to paint, And so the struggle to survive in that environment was rough for us,
Moving from, you said Pico Union and getting to Huntington Park, right? Once you start acknowledging the shift in culture, not culture exactly, but surroundings,
Yeah.
as far as like gang members and the gang culture, at what point do you start kind of like figuring yourself out? Like maybe that's not for me. I need to find something else that defines who I am.
Well, I mean, I've never been like a follower, you know what I mean? So that one right there kind of hit me harder. I didn't want to take orders from somebody else, especially people that I thought, oh, these motherfuckers don't got it. I don't understand what's going on, but they sure don't understand what's going on either.
Yeah.
They're on fucking drugs. They're drinking. They're doing all this shit. I'm fucking sober. I know more than this dude. Why am I going to follow that guy? So I started my own crew. And, it's been like that ever since.
And is that where TKO came from?
Oh, definitely.
From Huntington Park?
Trying to walk. Yeah. Right there on Seville and Florence at Tommy's. I used to see the NTS used to have meetings there back in the day.
Yeah.
Right? And they used to pack up Tommy's right there and you climb up and start tagging on the sign up there and hit all the buses right there. The 252, the 251, the 60, the 61, the 111 line, the 112 line, all those lines are just crowded up. And I used to walk with my mom and see these kids. And I'm pretending not to look at them because my mom would get mad. But I was like, oh, shit.
¿Qué estás viendo?
They're crazy because they're like bombing and tagging on everything. And so that was definitely a place where riders could sit down because they had benches outside, get a burger. The cops think you're eating. You're not having a meeting. You're not just tagging a peace book, so they don't even stop you. So that was a cool spot to have me. So we would all meet up right there at the top Tommy's on Seville and Florence, which is still there to this day.
Before the initiation of TKO, right? How did graffiti itself jump into your radar? Like, how did you discover it?
And I've said this before. I would go. Well, I was a kid, so I would go everywhere with my mom, right? Mm-hmm. So I went to church and I seen this dude up, and he was a gang member. He wasn't a graffiti writer.
Okay.
I would see his name. Then I went to the supermarket and I seen his name. Then I would go down Pacific and I seen his name.
Placazo style.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would walk down to school and I would take the shortcut alley and I seen his name. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So like everywhere you go, you put your name. See, I didn't have money for like magazines, like Subway Art. So I didn't even know people were doing it outside of my community.
Yeah.
I didn't think people were playing graffiti in another state. I didn't think that. You know, when you're a kid, you're not thinking there's a New York, there's a Europe, there's nothing. You're just thinking of your area, Los Angeles, you know, South Los Angeles, Southeast Los Angeles, my area. And I thought everybody was just going crazy right there. I didn't know what was happening anywhere else. And so I seen that this guy had his name everywhere, and I thought it was cool as shit. Like, everywhere you go, you leave your name. And that's how I like graffiti.
Okay.
But it wasn't from graffiti. Like,
Yeah.
what we think of graffiti, hip hop graffiti or tagging, it was a placazo. It was his name in different areas of my where I went.
So after discovering the placazo style graffiti, right, from this individual that was just putting his name everywhere and you were witnessing as a child, at what point did you define the difference between a placazo to hip hop style graffiti?
Well, seeing, you know, other taggers put it up
Okay.
and seeing they were using more stylish stuff. And that just became cooler. And then, you know, watching, you know, Yo MTV Raps and seeing the background of it, like, oh, what is that? It's colorful, you know.
Yeah.
Those are letters. And other hip hop videos too. KRS-One, My Philosophy, when Scott LaRock is tagging on the thing. Yo, that right there, just that song alone, just pumped me up to go bombing, you know. And it was shows like our senior hall show that sometimes would have graffiti dripping on their little things, and there was other little shows. French Prince of Bel Air had a graffiti thing. There's a lot of things that comes to mind when that kids will see and be like, oh shit, you know, like that's dope. But a lot of rap videos, I was into hip hop almost to the beginning when I got to Hyena Park. There would be these guys that were selling tapes on the floor right there, right on Pacific and Florence. There was like Mika's tapes, right? They were selling all that. But they were selling Tommy Boy Records little mixed tapes, and there was graffiti on them.
Like hand-drawn graffiti?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like little graffiti on them and shit. And so we pick it up, and it was like Run DMC and Curtis Blow and KRS-One and like, you know, LL Cool J and all these, and all the writing was like tagging writing. So we were going, but you know, it was a tape, people. I know I'm old, I'm a dinosaur, but there was this thing called a tape, and you need to put it in a boom box, and you play it.
And you had to carry the boom.
It wasn't a disc, it was an MP3, it was a freaking actual tape. And they were selling it on the corner, right on the floor.
Yeah.
A little carpet, Mexican blanket, and then you could buy Mika, and you could buy tapes right there too, you know. But yeah, that's how my introduction to hip hop was right there.
For anybody out there that might be wondering, like, bro, what is a Mika? It's a fake ID.
It's a fake ID, pretty much. And you got them on Pacific all through the 80s and 90s.
Good, I was wondering.
You know, something I wanted to throw out there, bro. Me growing up as a child, right? My mom was a very traditional Mexican parent, to where she seen graffiti and rap as like the devil's work. Like, hey.
Oh yeah, me too. As a matter of fact, my mom and my uncle, when they heard me and my cousin play that music, they ambushed us in the living room with their own Mexican rap song. This in rap. It was like, mata tu madre, mata tu padre, haz los french fries. And I was like, what the fuck? Did my parents just come up with like some rap shit, this is rap?
Yeah.
Because they really thought it was like, you know, and who knows if they got that from the, you know, in church, you know, maybe a preacher's like, get your kids away from this hip hop. But, you know, now that we know better, dude, hip hop is, like I said, it's inclusive of all races around the world.
Yeah.
And it's the best, you know, it's the best political system we got, bro. You know?
I know you mentioned the burger stand, right? Where you would witness the NTS have their meetings, and that's eventually how you gather your friends and initiated TKO.
Yeah.
Where does the thought of the actual name come from? Like TKO?
TKO?
Yeah.
Well, originally it was Total Chaos with the K and OSS. And the reason for that is because at that time there was a bunch of breakdancers.
Okay.
And they all used to, on Pacific, they used to get these, just, you know, the plancha riding on it. And they all had things on, right? And they had like a little breakdancer bunny rabbit right here. And in the back, they would have like ruthless, like Ruth and then less.
Yeah.
And I thought that was dope. You know, in graffiti, we didn't have to spell it correctly, the English dictionary. Like Toomer is Toomer for me,
Yeah.
but that's not how you spell tumor, you know?
Definitely.
So, I played a lot with different words. Also, I was a F student. You know what I mean? Like misspelling shit all the time, and I have dyslexia. So I saw words different. So total chaos is the jackets that we had back in the days when we were like little, pop lockers and shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what me and my boys, back then we were like pop lockers. We were like pop locking. Breakdancing was there and everything, but pop locking in LA was a little bit more.
So once upon a time, you could catch Toomer in Huntington Park popping.
I hope to God nobody has me doing the worm, because I will shoot them for that video. They will die. I hope. If somebody has any video of me as a child doing this shit, your days are numbered, bro. I'll fucking kill you. Get rid of that shit now.
And
I'm sure I was fucking embarrassing, bro. I'm sure I did some way out shit when I was a kid, but
you learn, you live and you learn. You
live and you learn. Yeah.
Toomer, the name itself, where does that idea come from?
Okay. That's this in for me too. So we would hang out in front of my porch in Huntington Park. The reason for that being is my mom would always be like, "Oh, get the hell out of here. Go to the park. I didn't move over here for you to be in front of the house. Plus all the neighbors are going to think you're starting a gang or something. Like, get out of here. What do the neighbors think,
Mm-hmm.
She was more worried about what these neighbors were thinking with the nice houses,
Than what you were thinking.
Than what I was thinking safety.
Yeah.
Going to the park meant the gang was going to beat your ass up and make you join that gang or just, hurt you. So we try to stay away from the park because that's where all the gangs ran. They ran the park. There's a park right there called South Lake Park.
Okay, I know where it's at.
Yeah. Well, back in the freaking 80s and 90s, that shit was infested by a gang that controlled that area. And other gangs trying to hit them. So if you're in that area, the other gangs going to think you're from there, or that gang you think you're from that. So we try to stay in the porch and just, talk about stuff like Nintendo. Talk about it because we couldn't afford it, but we were talking about it. Like, wow, one day, who has it? Somebody has to have it,
Yeah.
I want this, There's arcades, but there was not anybody in our, world that could afford having Nintendo. So we were just talking about it. And we were playing music, obviously, hip hop. And my mom comes back from work and she's like, eres como un tumor. Give me a headache with that, And my friends are like, that's your name now. You're a tumor. It's kind of like, so my mom pretty much gave me that name.
Okay.
And then just stuck. Like, oh, you are a headache, You're loud, you're obnoxious, like you give me a headache, you're a fucking tumor.
And I just also wanted to mention too, for any viewer out there that will watch this, this is like what real life looked like back in the 80s, right? Like you couldn't just go to the park and sit there without a homeboy coming up to you like, hey, where you from?
Yeah.
Or hey, you gotta be from the barrio.
That's real. That's real.
And a lot of people might not understand that because now it might not be like that as much as before, but in certain parts it's still like that.
And there's another thing too that, I was talking about the other day is that we didn't tell our parents that shit. Like me, I'm a Gen Xer. We were like, there's $5 on the table. Go to the store, buy a microwave meal, go make it for yourself, and make sure you're inside the house when the lights go off. So if some bad shit happened to us, we didn't stress our parents about it. We're like, oh, they beat me up I got shot at today. We kept that shit to ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we loved our parents and we didn't want to stress them out because they were busy paying for shit, right? They were busy busting their ass working. We couldn't just tell them. The times I got beat up or whatever, I just cleaned myself up and pretended I fell down or some shit like that. I would never tell my mom any of that shit. So the pain that we, dealt with, we just took it upon ourselves. We just, we put that shit down in our gut. And it came out later when we fucking blew up fools and shit. And people think we're psychotic, crazy fuckers, but we never cried to our, parents or loved ones and told them our problems. We didn't have that shit.
I think that comes from us understanding that they got too much on their plate.
Yeah, they got too much on their plate. Our parents, all poor parents around the world got too much shit on their plate to be, and they care and they try to, but if you're a good, child, you don't want to stress out your parents, And a man too, you don't want to stress out your girl. You don't want to stress out a lot of things. You just keep a lot of things inside.
Growing up with me and my friends, we had this term that we like to use a lot, right? Carnalismo, right? And by that I mean like, how do you balance growing up in a neighborhood, right, for yourself, where there's a bunch of gang members and you're not part of that culture, but they're still your friends, right? But balancing that out to where like we're friends to a limit. Did you always carry that limit?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're going to school and one of you's a gang member and the other one's not, you're not gonna have him get jumped. You're not gonna stand there and be like, oh, I'm Switzerland, I'm neutral, I'm not gonna get
Yeah.
into it. They're gonna fuck you up too, and you're not gonna let your friend get beat up. A lot of times, you get gang adjacent to whatever area that is. So a lot of people think I'm from that barrio because I knew so many people from that barrio, and other people think I'm from this barrio or whatever. And it's just, sometimes you could get killed just helping out your friend that you're walking to school with.
Yeah, I've seen
It's
it. So
like,
it's
even though society will tell you don't hang out with them, he's a gang member, but back at home, yo, you know his parents, they know your parents, you know, he's there for you when you need it.
like
So
another brother.
he's like another brother, like a carnal,
Yeah.
you know? So you're just stuck like that. There's a lot of gang members right now that never wanted to join a gang, but they were there and witnessed their friend get murdered. And then right after that, they became a gang member to avenge their death. Or they were just stuck. They were being prosecuted by police and they were being attacked by the rival gang. So they said, fuck it. I'm labeled a gang member and their enemies are trying to kill me. I gotta fight. I gotta pick up a gun and
Yeah.
fight
Defend
back,
myself.
defend myself. A lot of gang members. I,
Because
I
ain't
would say a
nobody
big
coming to
majority
defend
of
you.
ones didn't just wake up in the morning and say, "Hey, I want to join a gang today." Like it just happened because that's their neighborhood and they're protecting their neighborhood and against other neighborhoods. And and the same thing with graffiti in a way. There's a lot of graffiti writers that hang out with other graffitiers for other crews, and then they get labeled being in that. You know, nobody even thinks like, oh yeah, that's
He's from that.
he's from that. He has to be from that, and it sucks. I think a lot of people don't uh, paint with each other because of that. You know what I mean?
He's from over
Because they're
there. I don't want to
scared that
mess with him.
if I paint with Toomer, then everybody gonna think I'm from TKO, and whoever don't like TKO, not gonna like me, and blah 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 blah. But you gotta be a man and grow up and make your
Yeah.
own decisions sometimes, and just paint with whoever the hell you want to paint with and whoever you vibe with, and don't give a shit about what other people think. And I'm that way now. Just this year, I uh, I said it was okay for me to paint with other people because for a long time I only painted with my crew. That's it. I set that rule.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not painting with nobody else but my crew. And that's it. Why am I going to help the career of other idiots that I don't give a fuck about when I got so many idiots I know? I might as well help them. No, but like, yeah, I kind of like, nah, I'm just going to paint with my crew. And I have a buffer zone. Like when I do my piece, I want somebody from my crew this side and this side. So nobody can just paint next to me and take the picture.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Before that, I was painting with a lot of people from Europe, a lot of people from here, wherever. I was just getting walls for everybody. This is paint. And that side was like, it wasn't equal for a long time. It was like, well, let's just get, Toomer could get walls all day. We'll just use his walls. And they never got any walls and they were lazy. So when me and another homie started painting and he was doing characters and backgrounds, this was before I started doing characters and backgrounds, like now, I was like, hey, we don't need any of these assholes. Like, why are we inviting these fools? They're
Yeah.
just covering the wall. People are painting on top of each other. Like, fuck, let's spread out, man.
Yeah.
Let's you and me just do stuff. Like, fuck everybody. They all got mad. All of them. Oh, that's fucked up. Like, yo, dude, I'm not here on this planet to give you a wall or, help you in your career, bro. I'm doing me, bro. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
fuck you getting mad at me. I ain't mad at you if you don't give me what's on your plate. Like, don't come over here and try to get my plate. So I stopped that for a long time. I was only painting with my crew. This year, now I'm like, you know what? I'm only going to paint with people that are going to show up to the wall and show out.
Gotcha.
You're going to come to the wall and you're going to fucking just, really work on it. Don't just show up. I showed up at, in the morning, buffed the whole wall. The whole wall's prep. I'm doing the background, I'm doing character. And then you show up and do your little fucking name, take a couple pictures and leave. Fuck all that. Fuck all that.
Gotcha.
And people that want to really, really, really put in some work and do some dope ass shit, yeah, I'll paint with you. And I could do backgrounds and I could do characters now. I forced myself to do characters because, and I might as well say now, a lot of the guys that do characters are manic depressant little bitch.
Mhm.
You have to pump up their egos for them to do anything, and they don't want to do anything. They're just like, oh, bro, I'm sad today. Like, I don't think I want to get out of bed. Like, shut the fuck. Like, dude, the majority of fucking character guys, which that shouldn't even exist either. And I get this is a whole other conversation, but there shouldn't be a character guy. You should be a graffiti writer.
Yeah.
Hey, first of all, if you're the character guy, then you're just a guy getting used for other writers to put their names, and then you come and you do a character, and that's it. Like, put your fucking name, okay? Put your fucking name on the wall, please. Don't just show up and do a character and then let the other guy get all the credit for it. But put your name, because this is about names.
Yeah.
Graffiti.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That's the whole point. It's like saying, I'm a freight guy. I only paint freight trains. You're a fucking moron then. Paint everything. If there's a dead deer where people are driving by it and thousands of people are going to see that deer, tag on the fucking deer. It's just a big marketing game. Why are you going to be like, I only paint trains. I only do freeways. I only put up stickers. Like, dude, do all of it. Be a well-rounded writer. And don't just do like, I only do wild style. I only do throw-ups.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I only do rollers. Like, no, bro, do all that shit. And then you can handle everybody else around the world. Like we were talking about giving credit to Mexico because they're so dope. Well, Europe too, motherfucker. Like crazy shit. Like we think we bad. Go look over there.
I've been seeing what they've been doing, and it's definitely
fucking crazy, bro. Mexican writers in Mexico, they mixing their own paint. You know what I mean? They make it. I mean, this was the dude here, but goddamn, what do they do it over there?
Have you tried their Can 360?
Oh yeah, of course.
What do you think about it?
It needs a lot of shaking, but it's dope.
Yeah,
it's dope. It's dope. I'm not shooting it down. It's just it's just depending on how they take care of it, right?
Gotcha.
Like you have to take care of the paint, how you store it, And I think a lot of places that buy it out there, they don't even have air conditioning in some places, So it kind of like fucks up the paint. I've been out there to paint something, and it's like fuck, Like it's not like you can just go back to wherever you got it real quick.
You just got to make it work.
You're already out there, you know what I mean? It's the middle of the night, like so. I want some dependable shit, and
I think all the, in my opinion, I feel like all the Netflix shows and all the media have made it to the point where like Mexican Americans are kind of scared to go to Mexico because of the cartel movement.
Stupid, bro.
Is that real?
That is so fucking retarded, bro. Like, let me tell you that, and I could flip two coins. I've been in locations where there's some fucking bodies over there.
Yeah.
Right? And the homie's like, hey, dude, fucking everybody's going inside, and there's some bodies over there. I'm like, yeah, that's not our bodies. It's none of our business, homie. I'm gonna go over here and fucking paint this wall now. Shut the fuck up. And if somebody shoots at us, shoot back.
Yeah.
But leave me alone. I'm painting over here. Nobody's bothering me. And nobody's bothering me. I've been in places where cartels that look at me painting, fucking don't give a fuck. Military, same shit. Like it's nothing like that, bro. That's all fake. That's all hype for the United States to continue to try to put that country down because they're doing so good right now. Mexico's doing amazing right now, money-wise. And here's a difference between Mexico and the United States. We have a huge aging population in America. That all we're going to do in the future, or robots are going to do in the future, is take care of all our old asses. Mexico has the opposite. They have a bunch of young, hardworking, ready to work, hardcore people there.
Yeah.
They're going to work for the future. You know what I mean? Because you go to Mexico to be a loser or to be somebody out there not having a job, that's outcast shit for real. Everybody works there. You could see the movement of humans going to work in the morning, bro. It's like Mexico City, right? Like it's like, whoa, like you get stuck in traffic 5, 6, 7 hours because everybody's going to school or work. Nobody just lounging and shit. They ain't got time for that.
So
shit.
that narrative that they're putting through media is not
stupid.
It's
It's bogus, bro. You could just go. I've gone all over Mexico, bro. Now I've been to places in Mexico. Like one time I was in God damn, I always forget this place. But it's somewhere in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
And Maybe it was Jalisco. I'm not sure. And I was waiting for a cab to get back to my hotel. And every time I walked up to the cab, they were like, closed, on break. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? So finally, after like an hour and a half, I walk up to to a cop and I go, hey, what's going on with these cab drivers, man? Like, just trying to get in my hotel. I'll tip good, you know? They're like, oh, they think you're a sicario. They think you're an assassin. They think you're gonna fucking kidnap them or kill them or fucking take them, you know, some shit. And I was like, nah, man, I'm a U.S. citizen. You know, I showed them my passport. Just trying to get to my hotel, man. They're like, all right, hold on. He goes over and tells me, hey, give him a ride, you know? He's a good guy, you know?
Estaba en lonche.
But that's happened to me in Medellin, Colombia, too. Like I was in Medellin, Colombia, and I wanted to get a freeway spot. And so I told the driver, oh, leave me out right here. And he goes, no. And I go, what do you mean, no, motherfucker? He's like, oh, no, it's dangerous. Gorillas. And I'm like, ain't no gorillas in the jungle here. They're like, no, not that kind of gorilla. Like gorillas, because the government or whatever. And you're in America. I was like, I don't give a fuck, man. If I didn't die in South Central, and I started getting a whole rat. If I didn't die in Watts, if I didn't die in Compton, if I didn't die in Brooklyn, if I didn't die in New Orleans, if I didn't die, I started to all the cities I painted graffiti.
All right, get out, go.
I ain't gonna die here in fucking Medellin, Colombia, motherfucker. So he's like, all right, get off. I go, I'll call you in about an hour. And I got off and I fucking painted the freeway right there. Also, I painted
by yourself?
Yeah. And yeah, I've always been the tip of the spear for TKO.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck what these motherfuckers tell you, but I always been the tip of the spear for TKO. Like I showed up to Mexico first and painted it back in the early 90s before any of my homies did. I went to Medellin, I went to Midwest, I went to New York, I went all these different places first, boots on the ground. And then I called, we're ready for the invasion. And then we all pulled up, did what we did, you know?
How does that make you feel being a kid that was just getting into it in Huntington Park to now traveling?
Well, even when I was in Huntington Park, I got, you know what happened is I got kicked out of the schools everywhere, right? So I got kicked out of HP, and I went to fucking South Central, I got kicked out of there. I went to Washington, I got kicked out of Washington, I went to Manual Arts, I got kicked out of Manual Arts, I went to Wilson and El Sereno. So I went north, south, east, and west, you know, everywhere. So I met different writers. That's how I got up all city, right? So then, now I'm taking the Greyhound to fucking Oakland. Now I'm taking it to San Diego. And then while I'm there, I might as well go across the border. Call my mom real quick. Hey, you sure I was born in LA, right, Mom? Like, yeah, okay. Why? Oh, nothing. I'm over here in East LA. And then I would walk over to Tijuana and be like, oh shit, this is crazy, you know, catch some tags, come back. You know, so I love to travel. I mean, I'm gonna do it now. I'm waiting on this surgery that I'm gonna get, and after that, dude, I'm gonna go back on tour. You know,
I want to dive into some of your early stuff. So you know, you started TKO at this burger stand, right? And then you guys, get together and put the crew together. And from that point forward, what is next for you guys? What was the next step from there?
Well, see, here's the thing about, I don't know how it is, but now it's different, right? Now, you know, graffiti writers are doing like, what's our 10-year plan? What's it? Dude, we're the fucking kids writing graffiti, bro.
Yeah.
We didn't have no plans. You know, now you get kids coming in, how do I get sponsored? Like, what? Shut the fuck up, bro. Like, you know, it's so weird now. It's so weird now. These motherfuckers now are so crazy with this graffiti shit. Like, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We were just doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're from TKO and we're getting up, and that's it. Try not to get killed. That was, don't get killed today and go paint graffiti.
I remember.
Try not to cop beat your ass, because back then you could tell the LAPD, you want to go to jail, you want your ass beat. And they would be like, you know, we're just going to fuck you up today. Back then it was real. And they were dropping out fools in different neighborhoods, you know.
I seen like racist stuff happen too, like
all day long. I mean, this is before Ronnie King. I knew that Ronnie King shit was going on before. I know America was shocked, like, police are beating up minorities? No way.
Yeah.
They're such nice guys. Like, they didn't understand that, that shit was going on. I mean, before I even got into graffiti, I would go to Tommy's, get a burger. And the cops were like, oh, come here, motherfucker. And they're throwing me on their hot hood. I'm burning my hands. Like, dude, get your hands off the hood. You know, their car's on all fucking day. It's black. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm burning my fucking hand on the hot hood. They're searching me for weapons. Yo, I got like $3 to go get a burger, bro. I'm in chanclas and shit. You know? I lived like a block away from Tommy's, you know? And so it's crazy how America thinks that, we are the problem when we were just surviving. Like, it's not like we were. And another thing, like, I never went to go bomb Beverly Hills or anything, you know?
Gotcha.
Like, a lot of the graffiti where I learned how to do burners was after the LA riots. A lot of Vermont was burned to shit. And they had, I guess they had like basements on a lot of the stores right there.
Yeah.
And big corporations or companies threw all their excess tires and plastics in there. Because no, it wasn't a human, bro. Some truck pulled up and threw thousands of tires in that shit because they knew that the government was going to clean it anyways. So they started dumping all this trash in South Central because they knew that they burned the community down and now it's a big dumpster, right? Like
Because-
Watts used to be.
Because the government's going to pick it up
The government's
regardless.
going to pick it up regardless. So these big trucks came and just started throwing shit. So I used the tires to walk down to the basement and just do these burners. Now, when I turned around, I see nothing but kids, black kids, Mexican kids, looking and playing in that. And I had cartoon characters and they liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't see nobody like, get the fuck out of my neighborhood with that shit. Everybody liked the colors. Everybody liked it. Everybody was cool with it. You know what I
They
mean?
accepted it.
Maybe not the cops.
Yeah.
Maybe not society that don't live there, but the residents there I never got beat up in South Central painting graffiti. I never got, you know what I mean? Like, I never got people telling me, don't do that shit. They're like, oh, that's just dope. That's different than what we're used to seeing.
I wanted to get your take on this. I've been in these conversations before with, I know some writers come from more of a, I wouldn't say wealthy state of lifestyle,
Oh,
but
yeah,
they had
sure.
more resources
Oh, for sure.
than others. You come in as a writer that came from nothing, right?
Oh, yeah.
From the ground up. Does that bother you in any way, knowing that there's other guys that were kind of
the way I do the credit system for graffiti, it's just if I see a guy that never had anything and he has excelled in anything artistic, I give him way more credit than somebody that had a mom or a dad that gave him the markers and the pens and the paper and all these different airbrush machine and all these tools to do it. Because this dude didn't have shit, bro. And this guy's been policed 24 hours a day like he's in prison. And this guy's been shot at by gangs and beat up. And this guy had to figure out how to eat that day, right? So you have to obviously give that dude more credit than somebody that had everything given to him. There's a lot of graffiti writers now that people are, oh my God, this guy's so famous. And this guy's, dude, I knew them. I know where they came from. They used to drive all the way to my house, all the way to my house to hang out. And I used to wonder, like, what the fuck are you even doing here, bro?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here? Like, you have a fucking dope ass house, your mom giving you money, all this shit. That's crazy. But they just loved, the game. They loved hip hop. They loved graffiti, and they wanted to do it. And they didn't get as police as bad as us, and they didn't, they had cars. I didn't have a car for years. I took the bus. I was on the RTD, bro. You know what I mean? I was, like Ern said, I was making fake bus passes. My grandma used to have one because she was sitting citizen, and I would tell her, Grandma, you have your bus pass yet? Can I borrow real quick? And she's like, see, I get it, and I copy that shit. And I made a couple of them. I go to school and I sell those, right? Also, too, we used to run the transfer runs. We used to go to the bus. They had the transfers on the side right there. We would walk in like, oh, how's your day going? And if the dude was a dick, I'm like, oh, fuck you then. Bam, that's the whole shit. Walk out. Now you could transfer all around LA.
Yeah.
Or sell the transfers,
What was the transfer going for at the time?
Oh, 25 cents.
So you like 25 cents a transfer?
But if you sold the transfer to somebody that was going to pay for the bus, now you made 50 cents. You know what I mean? Because he was going to pay $1,
Yeah.
So there was a lot of shit that happened on RTD that's crazy. I mean, a lot of people give me credit for the graffiti I do now, but if they could go back and record all the fucking bus bombing I did, they would be like, damn, this motherfucker.
Like you were bombing the side of the RTD buses?
Outside, inside, the fucking, the back fucking grill, getting my fat ass up there, doing that shit. The front of the fucking destination, all that shit. Dog, we right there at Manual Arts High School on King in Vermont. the MBTs used to be like 100 deep, dude.
100.
Yeah, bro, 100 deep, bro. It used to fucking pop. Well, it's not just the MBT. It was like MBT, FS, AOBSA, fucking NTS, fuck, just like every motherfucker. And he used to just pretty much invade the bus, bro, and not let the driver go anywhere. Boom, turn off his fucking bus, and everybody just smashed the fuck. I mean, it was pandemonium back then, bro. This is like, this is like, this is like 93, 92, 91. And it was just like they mobbed the fucking bus. So I would just be fucking just mobbing the inside, walk in there, smash every fucking window, walk right back out the back, go across the street, hit that, and then the cops would pull up.
Yeah.
And then that's why they formed Ghost. They formed the Ghost team. Ghost team is Graffiti Habitual Offender Suppression Team, and it was the first undercover like real graffiti squad in Los Angeles. And they were well funded, bro. And they fucking popped me like 30 times or some shit.
30 times?
Yeah, bro. Like I was getting arrested left and right back because I didn't give a fuck, dude. I got to get a ticket and went right back to bombing. And then go to jail and come on. But, juvenile hall back then.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's how it was back then. But the Ghost team, I was in their Most Wanted. I was on Caltrans Most Wanted. I was in a lot of downtown LA, like I was in a lot of lists. And I got raided a lot of times. I did hit my house a couple of times. SWAT teams. They wouldn't let my neighbors go to work.
But they were hitting you like they were doing like a gang operation type?
Oh, yeah, dude. The last raid, I remember, I wasn't even there. But, yeah, they shut the block down, bro. And they went in there hard as fuck. Like, if I had bombs, they thought I was Osama bin Laden in that bitch. My neighbors were like, I knew it. He was up to something crazy. And then when they found out at the end it was for graffiti, they were like, oh, for the love of God, what the fuck are we doing with our money here? You fucking send a full SWAT team to this fucking graffiti writing? Are you fucking insane?
Yeah.
The other guy over there is selling fucking big old pounds of meth. Go get that fool.
Why are you fucking with this guy?
Fucking. They laughed, bro.
Yeah.
At first they were like, there must be some dead bodies in there. He must be a serial killer. And then they found out, like my mom's not arrested, nobody's arrested, the house is not impounded, and they're like, what happened? Graffiti. They all got mad. All my neighbors were like, motherfucking pieces of shit, wasted time, idiots. You fucking did all that? And one of the times I was arrested, and this was on the LA Times article, you could probably find it. It says, tough fight for Chief Bratton, says Toomer of the TKO crew. And Chief Bratton was the police chief in New York, and he came to LA and became the police chief of LA, and he wanted to do the Broken Windows campaign where society is in a decline if there's a broken window, so you have to take care of all those crimes, and graffiti is one of the big ones of that. That way society doesn't decline into this fucking chaotic state of bullshit, right?
Oh, wow.
So this fool fucking was running for fucking police chief, and he wanted to run for mayor. So and one of the things is like, well, give me a list of the motherfuckers that are doing a lot of shit. And my name popped up. So they raided my house all fucking crazy with a SWAT team, closed the whole block, it was all crazy shit. And they locked me up, right? Highway patrol, that's when we battled and we had all the freeways. TKO had rollers everywhere, dude. We fucking smacked. That's one of the first times that I saw that shit and it was like, oh shit, I'm gonna go to jail.
What year was this?
This was like in the 90s. We battled the crew and we had all the freeways like retarded, bro, like standards, like TKO, on the 5, the 10, the 110, the 710, the 60, just every fucking freeway. Dude, I drove all around with the other leader of the crew because we won. And we saw that shit and I got scared, bro. First time ever in my life feeling like scared about graffiti because it was millions of dollars, bro, millions of dollars.
And did the other crew keep up?
No. They know they lost. But and I'm not naming them because I ain't trying to embarrass them, right? But they lost.
Okay.
The leader was in the car and we drove around and we counted it. And then he was like, well, we have some over here, but we don't have time to go get it. I was like, I'll give it to you. Let's count your little 5. And then at the end, it was over. But it was a friendly battle. It's not like we had beef with them or anything. But yeah, we fucking smashed, bro. And I got scared. But that put me on the top of the list. They were like, well, we can't find all of TKO because it's murky who is and who isn't. I always kept it that way. Like, who's in TKO, who's not. Like, you always have to. If you have 10 members, they're all in the crew, trust me, they'll get you tomorrow. They'll go to your all 10 and you're done. And you have to have some murky shit.
For me, what I always give you guys credit for is before going viral was a thing, You guys went
the
viral.
videos. Yeah, for sure.
Like that
Yeah,
bucket
the
video,
bucket thing.
that went viral, bro.
Yeah.
That was massive.
That was massive.
And it's like,
I was talking about the evidence thing, right? Evidence went to the show I was doing with Tribe, and I was doing the war video, and I go, hey, we're doing another war video. You want to be part of that shit? And the way we had the formula is that we would have like some rapper or celebrity or a porn star or crazy fight, right?
yeah.
And then graffiti, like a feature, like with a song, like we featured a writer. We made a lot of people famous, bro. A lot of people famous. And not just writers. We made a lot of rappers famous because we played their music. And that shit went over and over and over and over.
What's one rapper off the top of the head you can mention from the war movies?
I mean, we made Evidence. Because let me tell you what happened with Evidence, right? So I hit him up and I go, you want to do this? He goes, yeah, I'll do it. So he goes, yo, this is Evidence, Dialect Peoples. And then right after him, Bucket's part came on, right?
Yeah.
Well, the cops thought he was saying this is evidence of my graffiti. And they raided Evidence, the rapper, thinking he was fucking Bucket.
And it wasn't him.
No. So in that one song, he has a song, I'll give you the song, you could play it on the thing. He goes, got framed on War 4, check the YouTube and the scoreboard, and he's standing there with an LA Times article that he got raided because they thought he was Bucket. And then later he did another song where Bucket is painting on a billboard, and he turns around and it's Evidence's face. Like, you know, because he was trying to, go for it. And that helped him out. And also too, other rappers that we played under that were obscure at that time. Now they're my homies, but at that time that we helped out. Psycho Realm was one. We did.
Oh, Psycho Realm was on the war movies?
Mortal Technique, the music.
Okay.
I'm talking about the music that we chose got a lot of play.
Okay.
And we weren't doing like a lot of mainstream shit. We were playing underground shit. At that time, Mortal Technique was super underground.
We're Dancing with the Devil.
Yeah. So a lot of the songs that we played, Psycho Realm stuff, we played a Dialect People stuff. We played like all this different music from the South too, like a Reno.
Yeah.
Nobody heard of that, dude. Like there's a lot of stuff nobody heard of, and we played it, and people really loved it because they kept on playing it over and over. And tattoo shops across.
Where did the idea for these movies come from?
Well, it was Kenner 42 and one of the guys from WAI that started a skate video. Number one, if you see number one, there's more skating than anything.
Yeah, I seen it.
Our number two, Kenner was more hanging out with TKO than WAI because he was from WAI. And he was like, look, I got this editor and we're doing this shit. What do you think? And I go, yeah, let's cut this fucking skate shit the fuck out. No, like the homies. And I'm like, all right, well, at least give him like, this is a graffiti video. Let's do graffiti. Get the shit, fucking skate shit out.
So you kind of took like the director role.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was traveling more. I was going on tour. At that time, I was working for Party Records, so I was going on tour with like the West Side Connection. I was going on tour with like Death Row people. I was going, Snoop people, like all kinds of different, because Priority Records was a distributor to Death Row, Ruthless with Eazy-E, Doghouse Records, like just all the Who Banging Records, like all these different rappers from the West Coast, and Ruckus too. So I met a lot of East Coast rappers too. And then I started doing Interscope and started doing Columbia. I started working directly with Cypress Hill.
What were you doing for them?
Marketing and promotion.
Okay.
The street guerrilla shit.
Like
stickers,
posters.
Okay. And then from there, it just kept on going bigger, and then tour managing and all kinds of shit.
Before Instagram, before MySpace.
Oh yeah, but there was no MySpace at the time. There was no IG didn't exist. There's no Twitter.
So you had to come to me to get seen.
To get seen, you had to hit my company up. That was TKO Street Promotion, and that was a fluke too. Me and MQ from New York, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but MQ was living with me for a couple fucking time, a little bit when he moved to LA. Something happened, and he wanted to stay here, and so me and my homie Asper were staying. So he just stayed with us, and we would be hanging out in Hollywood. We didn't have money to get into a club. I think it was LA Athletic Club on Sunset. We're just chilling out, looking at the chicks. We weren't even dressed to go in, but we were just catching tags, and some fools looking at us. And they're like, hey, how would you like to do that for money? And I was like, man, get the fuck away from me, dude. What the fuck you want? Are you a cop? And he goes, nah, man. Put up these stickers. I'll give you $60. And when you're done, I'll give you another 60. I go, me that shit. You know who the fuck I am, motherfucker? I go, MQ, let's go. And we just start smacking all that shit. Got the money, we got some beers, whatever. And it was done for that day, you know? We didn't give a shit. But he gave me his card. My homie Asper goes, you know, that's a real job, right? And I go, man, ain't no real job. He goes, no, for real. Like, it's called guerrilla marketing. And you could do that shit for money and get paid. Get paid to bomb, you know? Who's gonna fucking do that? And he's like, call him. So yeah, I'm broke. MQ was a racker, so that fool, he'd come up. But I wasn't good because the way I look like, it was like, you're gonna steal. You know, MQ is more, you know.
We got one on IO too.
Yeah, exactly. So I was hurting. I was like, damn, I'm broke.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fucking call him. So I did. I called him and he goes, all right, well, here's the breakdown. I'm gonna give you these cameras. They used to have these fucking cameras you wind up. Yeah. So he gave me a bag of those and he goes, and here's all the supplies. And I just put all these posters and stickers and then give me the pictures and then I'll pay you. All right. And I did. And he's like, oh shit, you bought the fuck. I was, yeah, I'm here, man. And then it started a business. I had to do a business out of it. So I said, TKO Street Promotions, because why? Because I have a street team for free.
Yeah.
I'm the leader now.
Yeah.
So all the other street teams were like 2-3 people. I was coming in with 20 motherfuckers. So they're like, what the fuck? So I quickly, all the rappers started, giving my card to all the other record labels. Like, yo, hire this motherfucker. He has a straight fucking biggest team in LA. And we just, from there I went and I go to this club and, throw out these CDs and t-shirts on stage and then give these records to the DJs. At that time, there was record pools where all the street teams would have a meeting like Wednesdays and Thursdays to get these records out, but they would sell it to DJs. I did my job because I didn't know how corrupt it was back then.
Yeah.
The payola for radio and everything. So I would just give people records, DJs, and they're like, can I have two? So I'm like, of course. Well, those DJs became radio DJs later and all the club DJs. So they would let me into all the clubs for free, and then they would let me go to the radio station.
Because you were hooking up initially.
Yeah, because I was giving them fucking records when they were just starting. Now they became big program directors.
And is this what led you to the war movies?
No. The war movies was, like I said, Kenner, 42, and a couple other guys.
And you just became the director.
And then he just like, yo, this is getting popular. Let's get into this. And I go, he wanted my footage because I was touring. And I had rappers with me, and I was painting graffiti, and I was going to other states.
Oh, so you already had a camera at this time?
Oh, yeah.
A camcorder.
A camcorder because of promotion.
You didn't have the old school ones, or the bigger ones?
No. We had, they gave us one for the shows.
So you're like, I'm going to do your shit, and then I'm going to do mine on the side.
So I was making my own movie called Bombing and Bitches at the time.
Yeah, because you guys are drawing on females.
Before there was A Girls Gone Wild or any of that shit, I already had that. I already had all that shit. But the cops raided.
Yeah.
Took all that footage when they did.
And
they destroyed it. But let me tell you, man, we were the first and the best to come out with crazy shit. Before bum fights, we had that shit. Before Girls Gone Wild, we had that shit. Before fucking Fools Gone Wild, we had that shit. We had that shit way before everybody else. And, and people didn't even know that shit. And people do. People come up to me and tell me like, yo, bro, fucking the war video's this and the war video's that. But
I got one last question for you, brother, before we get on out of here. I know that you've had some very iconic female writers, and TKO, Tribe being one of them.
I think we had almost everybody. Claw was from TKO. Utah was from TKO. Meek, Tribe, Gel, Asia, Fuchsia. And we got Diamond now. We got Blue now.
And I wanted to ask, how does that make you feel being able to provide that to the culture? Like today, you have like females like Diamond and Blue that are active doing their thing. And then you have...
TKO has always been, from day one, I have pictures of Dale, Hugs, and Ye from 90 and 91. And I was the guy that was like, oh no, just because you have a boyfriend that tags, you can't get in this crew. You have to go do it. Because back then, there was girl taggers, but they were like the girlfriends.
Okay,
right?
gotcha.
I was like, no. Whatever the hell he's doing, you got to do. If not, don't even put up my crew. So I kind of pushed him to do it too. Like, you could do it. Fuck all it. But back then, when I started, a lot of the girls are girlfriends of other taggers already, and then I saw that they were better than their boyfriends. 'Cause they had, girls, of course, they're artists.
Yeah.
A lot of artists. They have a lot of skill. So I was like, nah, if you want to get in my crew, you got to put in work. And I showed them kind of the things. I unshowed them graffiti. How's that? This is what I do for my crew. I unshow them because what you think graffiti is stupid as fuck. I have to take that crap out of your head and show you what it really is. Because a lot of people come in, it's like, I don't know how to tag. But then you see their handwriting and it's fucking impeccable.
Yeah.
Right? Their fucking script is fucking amazing. I'm like, what the fuck? Just do that on the wall. Oh, well, I thought graffiti was like, this stuff. No, dude. However the fuck you're going to get your name out is how you do it. If you want to do sign painting, do sign painting. If you want to do some weed posting, do weed posting. But there's no one way of doing this getting up shit. It's marketing and promotion at the very core of it. And as much as you can market and promote yourself, that's how you win this game. If you have a logo that is what that logo is, then you push it to the end and you'll see people will buy that shit.
And you'll start figuring it out.
You start figuring it out.
Try
like my logo. My logo is the Dia de los Muertos Luck Skull, right?
Yeah.
So this is my brand. This is me. And this is my O for my T-Logo. So every single time I do a throwy, I'm promoting my logo. When I do a piece, I throw it on there. When I have a piece of clothing, like this one was done by Tribal, It's my logo with a bear with a spray can. But it is my brand. It's like Nike swoosh or the Apple.
There's that icon that gives you.
I could do a lot of different styles with it, but that's the brand you push. You push a brand and it'll get you there. That's all the successful writers have a brand or a logo that they keep pushing, and everybody knows what they have. They could do styles, but you got to have a brand.
Tribe was a very big impact. Do you still stay connected with her to this day?
I try. Her life is different now. A lot of things have changed in her life, and she's very loved, and I think she should come out and paint, but her life is different now. You know what I mean? And I gotta respect that she wants her privacy and she wants her life, and we gotta all respect that. But she did a lot for the women's movement in graffiti.
I know a lot of people ask for her.
A lot of people should, definitely give her respect, as well as many other graffiti writer women like Gel, and I've had so many female writers in my crew. Like I've been lucky that they've been all my sisters or my daughters in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of all of them. They come a long way and they're doing a lot. And the women's movement too. Like we talk about Mexico.
Yeah.
Shit, I went to Mexico, and there was like 6 or 7 women doing a mural. And I didn't bother them. I went across the street and I watched them paint these dope ass fucking murals, dog. Like just fucking giant Day of the Dead characters and shit, And I didn't want to go up there and just be like bothering them because I know they get bothered all the time.
Yeah.
There was no guys there. There was 7 women
taking over,
buffing up the wall, just doing the whole thing. And I just kind of stared at them. I was like, damn, these girls are dope. And it's like that everywhere. There's a lot of female writers now that are dope. Characters too, like Deity.
Yeah.
My homegirl, Miss B Baby. She's fucking like the first female that paint the fucking Dodger Stadium.
From San Diego.
Yeah. And then also in hip hop, like my homegirl Reverie.
Yeah.
She's fucking dope as MC, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She could fucking destroy dudes, you know what I mean? So the women movement in art period is blowing up.
Shout out to all the women out there doing their thing.
Dude, definitely. My respect.
Before we get on out here, brother, is there anything else you want to say to the camera or give anybody a shout out?
No, I hate everybody. No, I mean, like if I give shout outs, other people are going to be crying and shit. You know what I mean? I want to give a shout out to people that do a lot for me. Ducky, my girl.
Yeah.
There's so many people that, I think we talked about my homie Sam and Benny that do the stuff for movies and shit. And they helped me do that chair, the throne, the graffiti, the first graffiti throne.
500 cans.
Yeah, 500 cans. And that I will be having a meet and greet April 4th in downtown LA. You can check me on my Instagram for the address or whatever. But April 4th, I'll be having a meet and greet. I hope you guys come out. You guys should come out.
I'll be there.
There's a booth there. You can do a show live there if you want.
I'll be there.
I just talked to the one main dudes. There's going to be low riders. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be a lot of crazy shit. You want to sell some of your gear, I'll set you up.
I'll be able to. Thank you, brother.
Oh, and and if you want any of my merch or any of the art, you go to vandalzinc.com. Thank you, Ducky. That was God talking, by the way. He's in charge of everything.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Join our channel. Share the channel. And if we get 5,000 comments on this YouTube video, we'll make a part 2 happen.
Oh, they're gonna make 5,000 just shit talking.
Till next time, guys. Peace.